What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's extended daily rap. Good lord, 11 minutes, and you know what that means. Whenever Phil drones on for 10 plus minutes, you know that support was slow, and that's what actually happened yesterday. Our boy Phil decided he wanted to give Clair Obscur one more try and got 25 bucks, I think, for the playthrough. And yes, he finally decided to send it to BanWorld and wage quit it. Nope, there will be no additional content. There will be no alternative endings, no side quests. Nope. 22 bucks is just way too much for Phil to absorb, and he decided to send it to BanWorld. That's right. Anyway, let's see what Phil had to say on this extended daily rap. By the way, don't worry, we're not going to go through 11 minutes of it. I sped it up. Let's start at roughly the 5-minute mark. So let's get into it.
Tonight's late stream was the conclusion of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, the standard playthrough. And what I mean by that is that this game has a ton of optional side content that opens up during Act 3 that apparently everyone says is meaningful, is fun, adds to the story, adds to the gameplay elements and combat, super bosses that are epic fun fights, all of that stuff. And I'm thinking to this in my mind, that's very similar to what Lost Odyssey was. Hell, that's similar to Dragon Quest XI that had a whole second story after the main story ended, right? Problem is, as you know, if you followed along this playthrough, there is little to no interest whatsoever in my viewing audience for the game. I'm not saying it's no one. I'm saying it's like 5% of my audience, if that, who are actually tuning in. And rarely do we get enough people coming by who can support. It seems like the audience who like the game just haven't been able to support it that often. So I'll have one stream of Clair Obscur where we hit a goal, and then I'll have 2 or 3 that we barely get any support at all. And that's bad. Now, I told you guys, listen, I would commit to beating it. Tonight, we beat it. In fact, we had just enough time to beat the story and see one of the endings. There are 2 endings, and apparently there's a checkpoint you can load if you want to see the other ending. But that's where we left it. And I explained to everyone, and I'll say it here again. My job is an amazing job. I get to do what I love for a living, but it's a double-edged sword when it comes to a situation like Clair Obscur, a lengthy RPG where that's not what most of my audience likes. And because of that, the lengthiness of it, I mean, we're talking it was over 50 hours this playthrough. The support ended up dwindling and drying up. Rarely were we, in the last month when I played the game, rarely did we have a stream where I was hitting a goal. So I still toughed it out, but I explained to the audience tonight, I have to do and what's right and balance, you know, what's right. In this case, I can't continue to do all the side content of Clair Obscur. I was told there's 20 more hours of side content. That would be the equivalent of 8+ streams where I would say, well, I'll just accept that there's not going to be any support today. So I can't. But what I did say is this. I love the game so much. Number one, you have to understand this absolutely is going to be a Game of the Year contender for me. It will be in my countdown no matter what. There's no way 9 more games are going to be better than Clair Obscur this year. Okay, that's number one. Number two, this is the kind of game that, let's say, moving forward this year, all of a sudden, one week I have a great week. What if we do a marathon and the marathon gets a ton of support? Or out of nowhere, someone comes in and does a giant contribution. I'm like, whoa, I'm like way ahead right now on support. What I'd probably do is take a random stream, whether it's a day or night stream, you know, we can figure out, and say, let's just do some Clair Obscur tonight. Let's go and fly around and explore an optional dungeon, take on an optional super boss, check out some new stuff that we didn't go to before because we didn't have the opportunity. I would like to do that. And if we do it that way, maybe once or twice a month, maybe, do a Clair Obscur stream, we may still get to see all the side content of the game by the end of the year, and it won't be a big deal. It won't be like, oh, I'm still playing this game, you know, ongoing 5-6 months and everyone's complaining. Instead, it's just kind of a one-off stream here or there that we do. What I would do is obviously try to announce it a day or 2 ahead of time, so those of you that like Clair Obscur could show up. But it's more for me that we get to play it and people get to see it. It's not about the support because I don't think it's ever going to come. Just being honest. I think there's certain genres of games I'm just not going to get that level of support. Suikoden 1 HD. Why do I think that one worked? Because it's a classic and because it's short. The playthrough was under 20 parts. So because of that, people were able to show up and engage in support for the few weeks that we played it. Done, move on. Clair Obscur, we've been playing for 2 months. So of course, it's not going to be able to have that level of support when it's such a smaller audience to begin with, right?
All right, I want to stop it there, right? Okay, Phil. All right. Okay, you're trying to act like you get it. Okay. If you act like you get it when it comes to support, why don't you act that way when you play the actual game? Why do you treat your viewers like garbage? Why do you treat them like shit, essentially? Why do you guilt trip them when they don't support and give you $150 for every single playthrough? Those are the questions I would have asked, Phil, because it sounds like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You want your cake, you want to have your cake and eat it too, essentially. You want to tell your viewers, oh, this is not great. I don't know what's going on. Why aren't you guys supporting? You know, the beggar alerts, the 10-20 minute daily raps where you're complaining about support. And then now once you finish the game, because you saw that there was no support, you then act like, oh no, I get it, it's perfectly fine. You're being a hypocrite, Phil, because if you were getting it, all those times when you had slow support during the playthrough, you wouldn't have a fucking bitch fit. You wouldn't be crying like a baby, okay? You would just accept it and move on, right? Maybe the next time you play the game, you'll get support. And it happened from time to time. There were certain streams where you got some support, you know. It's just no one likes you playing JRPGs or lengthy RPG. It seems like no one likes watching you play anything, Phil. That seems to be your excuse. Or initially you get the bump in you get the bump in support initially, and then like everything else, it just dies down. Legos, politics, family land with the Burnells, smart guys. It's just a trend, Phil. Of course, all of those things, what it ties up to is gimmicks. Everything of those things I've just listed were just gimmicks of yours. And you get a short little bump and novelty, but it dies out. It's just the same thing with Truck Simulator. Wait until he starts playing car games with his steering wheel after the second or third time. No one's going to care. No one is going to care. And then Phil will sit there and complain that he spent all this money and no one's supporting, and make people feel guilty. It's his story. It's his fucking story with every playthrough, everything he does. And it's annoying. And I think if you were more consistent and you'd stick with your fucking story, maybe I'd be like, well, at least he's consistent. He's not even consistent, because right here in this daily wrap, he's now telling everyone that he gets it. Not everyone can support a playthrough. Not everyone is interested in him playing JRPGs or whatever. He gets it. Right. Okay, Phil. Until the next time you decide to fire this game up, which he probably will. He might bring it back in a month or two. Figure, the dents that were supporting this will come out and will out. I'll do it once, and he'll get zero support. He'll get a little bit of support, and then bitch and complain again that no one is supporting Clair Obscur. He's so tiring. He really is so tiring. It seems like he wakes up every morning and he has a memory wipe, and he just forgets everything that happened previously. It's a complete memory wipe, and I don't get it. I mean, I really don't. Honestly, you should be able to I can pretty much remember what I've said in the last 6 months verbatim. Phil, I don't know, bro. You really should get yourself checked out. That seems like a severe medical issue, like a neurological issue or something, bro. Because there's no way you can forget what you've said or you repeat it. And don't worry, Phil, if you do, detractors in the thousands will be out there to remind you exactly what you said. Don't forget, Phil, we have Pick Go, where we can search every single fucking word you said and pull up hundreds of videos of you repeating the same thing. But whatever, it is what it is. All right, let's keep going. But from my perspective, he wage quit this because he did 2 acts, and there was still a 3rd act, which he didn't do. So to me, that's officially a wage quit. So let's keep going.
Anyway, I certainly hope that you will check out the finale tonight as I upload it. I loved it. I really did. Very few criticisms, if any, for the game. A super duper good RPG. I'm very happy that I played it. Even though it wasn't the biggest moneymaker, it's not about that. It's about games. And I very much enjoyed the playthrough. If you were along for the ride, even if you couldn't support the playthrough ever, I still appreciate you watching and being part of that audience. Thank you for that. Okay? Okay, so Clair Obscur is now done. We will possibly bring it back in the future, but let's give it a break for now, and let's move on. Tomorrow, as I've already stated, a short podcast and a demo day. Tomorrow night is Friday Night Fights. Yes, that's right. For the first time in a week and a half, we're doing fighting games again. I want to play Capcom versus SNK 2, but if you watched that last stream, that was Lag City. We couldn't consistently get good connections with anyone. I'm basically being told the collection is dying and nearly dead on PC. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to buying this Capcom Fighting Collection 2 on PlayStation if people could tell me there's more people playing it on there. If there is, then maybe I will do that. Maybe we'll buy it and we'll play it on there. My joystick does work on PlayStation 5, so it would just be the matter of, swapping consoles, from PC to console and making sure the VRR and everything is on, which I think it is. Just turning it down, I think 1080p, so you get it all, and then playing it on there and seeing what happens. I mean, my ranking would reset, but at the same time, I don't think it's that big of a deal that my ranking would reset. I'd probably still be able to play people. There's no real, ranking thing in the game where you can't play people of higher or lower rank. So it might be funny. I might match up with people who have super high rank and I beat them and get a ridiculous amount of points. So maybe we'll do that. Let's see. But Friday Night Fights tomorrow night, Capcom versus SNK 2. I'm off on Saturday. I'm back on Sunday. We'll talk about that and figure that out tomorrow. Okay? All right, everyone. I'm out of here. Have a good night. Thank you for those who did watch Clair Obscur. I'll see you for demo day and for Friday Night Fights tomorrow. Have a good one. Let's end the week strong tomorrow. Come by, please support the idea of demos and Street Fighter, and I'll see you then. Peace out.
Oh, good Lord. Thank God that thing was over. And I'm actually really glad I started midway, because I think if I would have started from the beginning, I probably would have pulled my hair out. Anyway, so, alright, so the next gimmick now here is Fight Nights on PlayStation 5. So now he's reversing course. So if you don't know, our boy Phil initially started playing on Xbox, right? He bought Street Fighter 6 on Xbox, and he sucked, and he was terrible, and he blamed Xbox. Someone told him and convinced him that PlayStation is better. It's a better, the lag or whatever, or the net code is better on on PlayStation. So then he bought a joystick, and he bought the game again on Street Fighter, started all over, and then he realized he sucked, right? And then someone convinced him, well, it's PC. It's PC. You have to play it on PC, right? You have to spend all this money. You have to rebuy the game. You have to start over, and you have to play on PC. Phil goes, buys another fucking joystick, buys the game all over again, buys all this accessories and bullshit to make sure that his fighting game experience is top notch, right? What happens? He still sucks. He's probably worse now than he was before. So what is the gimmick? Instead of saying to himself, all right, well, I'll just keep playing on PC and this is my level of skill. No, Phil now decides that he's going to hit reverse and go back to playing it on PlayStation. And apparently he claims now that there's a bigger player base on PlayStation. I'm guessing he's talking about the Capcom versus Street Fighter collection, whatever the hell that is. Or Capcom versus Marvel Collection 2 is what he's playing on PC. So yeah, so now he's blaming there's not enough players on PC. Good God, man. Phil, you're still gonna suck, bro. You're still gonna be terrible. Yeah, God, and then we're gonna get the same excuses all over again. Oh, the lag. The PlayStation system is worse than PC. This is why I suck. No, Phil, you just suck because you suck. And I've said this before. I think Phil is an average fighting game player. He's average, you know. He's old. He's slow. He's decrepit. He's not healthy. His hand-eye coordination is abysmal. His vision is probably all fucked up from the diabetes. You're fine for all that, Phil. You're never gonna be a professional. You're never gonna be a competitor. You're not, bro. Those years have long passed you, bro. And you just need to accept it. You talked the other day about accepting getting old and aging gracefully. Maybe you should accept the fact that street fighting and fighting games are a young man's game, and you're just too old and decrepit to actually compete, bro. Really. You're going to torture us because you want those $25 from Jack Raxter, Phil? Good God, man. Think of something new, man. Go back to cooking. Do a cooking show, bro. Take your ass to the kitchen, bring Soulmate out, and cook some food. Maybe you can cook some bacon and then pour the grease down your toilet. That'll be great content, Phil. At least it'll be something different. Fucking sakes. Anyway, folks, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Today's the last day. Then we get a break. Thank you, Jesus. And then he'll be back on Sunday to rinse, repeat everything he did. He did the week before and the week before and the week before and the week before. Groundhog's Day continues. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.